Okay, so good morning again, guys. We're here with Mr. Camilo Trench. Right, he's here to talk to us about the mangroves that we're doing here. So, Camilo, if you'd just like to just introduce yourself to our viewers, which organization you're a part of, and then just go into talking about the mangroves, what you're doing here.
Okay, Camilo Trench. I am the lecturer and academic coordinator for the University of the West Indies Discovery Bay Marine Laboratory. And today we are here in partnership with NEPA to do the replanting aspect of a mangrove restoration. Now, mangrove restoration is a lot more than just putting a plant in the ground. As you can see here, Kingston Palisadoes, mangroves will naturally regenerate unless there's an issue stopping them from regenerating. And the issue here in Kingston is what you call an urban mangrove. It has a lot of solid waste because of us.
Right.
So the more solid waste we generate, especially plastics, and we release it into the Kingston Harbour, it ends up here. It doesn't disappear, it goes somewhere. So a lot of it ends up here. The guys did a great job of cleaning up the coastline here, as you'd see solid waste here.
Right.
So the mangroves here are given a fighting chance by putting up a solid waste barrier.
Right.
By no means is this a cheap barrier because it is 25-year rated plastic.
Oh, wow.
And the fence posts, even though you can't see, they are about 6 feet down in the ground.
Wow.
To keep it
6
stable.
feet.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
So, can you just give our viewers just a sight of it? Because as you said, this is not a cheap barrier.
No.
It's not a cheap. So this is a pretty expensive venture, then, correct?
Yeah, costly enough. But it's worth it because if you allow these mangroves to come up, then the Palisadoes will have another green space.
Right.
And mangroves have over 200 documented uses, including, if you look around, 200 documented uses. Yes.
Wow.
In Jamaica, I'm not so sure how much we use because we have a lot of resources in Jamaica.
Right.
But people use it for food, people use it to feed their cattle, etc. People, of course, it's a nursery,
Right.
makes oxygen, sequesters carbon, filters solid waste as well as nutrients.
Right, right.
So you can go on and on about the functions of mangroves.
So then can we state that the mangroves it has an ecological benefit?
Lots of them.
But also an economic benefit as well.
Yes.
Because as you just said, there's over 200 uses, which basically means if we can farm this then on a mass scale, could we then thus turn it into a source of income for the country?
It is a source of income for the country. Yes, it's just not a direct source of income. So for example, people use the mangroves to catch. It's a fishing ground.
Right.
You understand? People also use the dye to dye clothing and bags, etc. People also utilize the mangroves for growing bees, and they have a special type of mangrove honey.
Really?
And the list can go on
Mangrove
and on.
honey?
Yes. But as I said, in Jamaica, we don't use it a whole lot. The main use for mangrove areas in Jamaica, historically, it's changing a little bit now, is to really reclaim it, dump it, and build something on top of it.
Right.
So we're having a shift in terms of that department. It's not where we want to be, but I am happy to say in the last 10 or 15 years, and university has been a real part of that change.
Awesome.
We are transitioning to a net mangrove conservation instead of just destruction.
Right.
And now when somebody destroys mangroves, the public gets involved because the public recognizes the importance of mangrove. It's important for the guys who go crab bush. It's important for the people who go bird watching or bird hunting.
Right.
And the list can go on and on and on. We all appreciate mangroves in our own different ways.
Right. I like how you're showing that we all have to play our part because we all benefit from it, and the destruction of the mangroves will affect us.
Absolutely.
One way or the other, and it is almost a bit ironic because we are the ones who are destroying it by dumping waste into the harbor, and then from what I understand that this waste will thus choke the roots of the mangroves and thus kill them off, correct?
Not only the roots but also the seedlings. And my PhD study showed that plastic bags, no matter what density, whether it's a small amount or a large amount, it strangles and kills the seedlings.
Oh.
So even though the mangroves, so for example, that tree right there, this tree right here is about 4 or 5 years old. And when this produces babies, the seedlings will produce a couple of hundred seedlings in this stage. Right. When it produces the seedlings, when the seedlings drop on the ground, if the plastic bags or the bottles wrap around it, they don't get to germinate.
Okay.
So this parent will not get a chance to repopulate the area. So that is the importance of the solid waste barrier. It keeps the garbage out. And we have a monthly cleaning of the area. And this is one of the low garbage areas. The closer you go to downtown Kingston, etc., more gullies come out. So everybody should know that Your plastic waste, you should want reduce it. And even if you cannot reduce it, do not allow it to go. Don't teach your garbage to swim. That's something I always like to tell kids. Don't teach your garbage to swim.
I like that.
So keep your garbage in the landfill